Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting.
There's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no...
Caitlin Clark has officially revealed that she will be stepping away from basketball until April. That means no off-season leagues, no overseas runs, no surprise appearances, just rest. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas has spoken out about the slurs she claims she received from Caitlin Clark fans. Ryan Ruocco confirmed the news as well. Caitlin Clark will not be playing any off-season basketball. That means more than 200 days will pass before we see Caitlin Clark step back onto a basketball court again, an absence that is already sending shockwaves through the WNBA community.
Allow me to publicly thank the Indiana Fever for putting up such a great fight tonight and for battling back again and again and again all season long. Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever entered?
And to make matters worse, Caitlin Clark was literally taken down to the floor in her final game, which honestly surprised no one watching. Of course, no foul was called. Can someone explain how that wasn't a foul? Oh wait, never mind. We already know the answer. It happened to Caitlin Clark. Time and time again, we've seen her absorb contact that would earn anyone else a whistle. But when it's Caitlin, the refs suddenly swallow it.
Things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again, so.
And to make matters worse, Caitlin Clark was literally taken down to the floor in her final game, which honestly surprised no one watching. Of course, no foul was called. Can someone explain how that wasn't a foul? Oh wait, never mind. We already know the answer. It happened to Caitlin Clark. Time and time again, we've seen her absorb contact that would earn anyone else a whistle, but when it's Caitlin, the refs suddenly swallow it.
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it.
Caitlin Clark's decision to rest after her breakout WNBA season could mark a major turning point in her career. As she steps away from the court for the next 200-plus days, fans and analysts alike are left wondering what her absence will mean, not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the WNBA as a whole. Choosing rest over overseas leagues or 3x3 basketball signals a shift in how Caitlin is approaching her career. And that raises a bigger question. What does this mean for WNBA viewership and the league's momentum? While some were surprised, the decision is completely understandable. Caitlin Clark carried an enormous workload this season. She essentially played the equivalent of an NBA season, appearing in 81 games over a 324-day span and logging nearly 2,850 minutes on the floor.
I had 761 points, breaking the record once held by Simone Augustus. However, there is a caveat. Augustus set the mark back in 2006 when the WNBA regular season was just 34 games. Clark broke the record in 30.
Let's talk about Caitlin's final game, because this wasn't just another regular season matchup. This was a playoff game. Everything on the line, pressure at its peak. Going up against a tough Connecticut Sun team, the odds were stacked against the Fever. Still, Caitlin showed up like she always does. She dropped 25 points and handed out 9 assists, a stat line that once again proved why her name dominates basketball conversations. And if you watched closely, you know it could have been even better. Over and over, She delivered perfect passes that should have turned into easy buckets, only to see wide-open layups miss the mark. This wasn't bad decision-making. It was elite playmaking. Caitlin was controlling the game, creating opportunities, and putting her teammates in the best possible positions. The shots just didn't fall.
I would grade myself. I'm a tough grader. I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do. And I know I want to, help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates. And I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve. So that's what excites me the most. I feel like I can continue to get a lot better. And before we know it, I'm sure we'll all be back here.
The pressure in that game wasn't resting on Caitlin Clark's shoulders alone. The Indiana Fever, a team that struggled through parts of the season, were facing a Connecticut Sun squad loaded with playoff experience and depth. It was a tough matchup by every definition, but Caitlin Clark doesn't shy away from challenges. From the opening tip, she attacked the basket, took her shots with confidence, and played with urgency. She made sure she gave her team the best possible chance to win, refusing to let the moment overwhelm her.
A lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave.
The game may have ended in disappointment, but Caitlin Clark's season as a whole was nothing short of phenomenal. This was the year she solidified herself as one of the most exciting and talented players in the WNBA. From her scoring ability to her vision and playmaking, Caitlin became the heart and soul of the Indiana Fever. It's important to understand just how impressive her season truly was, especially considering the level of competition in the WNBA. Every team knew Caitlin was the player to stop. Defensive schemes were built specifically to slow her down. Coaches made constant adjustments to limit her impact. And yet, night after night, Caitlin still found ways to perform at an elite level.
It was a lot of fun watching Caitlin Clark's rookie season, which is now over. The Indiana Fever knocked out of the postseason by the Connecticut Sun in a 2-game sweep. And so we got to see the carryover from Iowa transition to the pro game, her ability to help develop a team's cohesion and chemistry. And we saw that work so well as the season went on. Clearly brought like a magnet phenomenal attention to the league, bringing new fans, a committed fan base, not just in her home arena, but bringing fans to away arenas and packing the houses and increasing different venues from smaller to larger because of their presence. It's been...
Caitlin's ability to score from deep range is one of her most dangerous weapons. She has an uncanny knack for hitting three-pointers from well beyond the arc, and she does it with remarkable efficiency. That shooting range forces defenders to guard her tightly, opening up driving lanes she can exploit with her speed and ball handling. But Caitlin isn't just a scorer. She's also one of the best playmakers in the league. She consistently sets up her teammates, creating offense and keeping the ball moving. That's what separates her from many elite scorers. While some players focus only on getting their own points, Caitlin sees the floor and makes the right pass at the right time. Her 9 assists in the final game were proof of that, and it easily could have been more if shots had fallen. Beyond the numbers, what truly set Caitlin apart this season was her leadership. As a young player, she took on a massive role for the Fever. In critical moments, whether it was hitting a big shot late or making a key defensive play, Caitlin was always the one her team turned to. That leadership, combined with her on-court talent, made her one of the most impactful players in the WNBA.
It's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands.
After such an intense and demanding season, it's no surprise that Caitlin decided to take time off. Many WNBA players head overseas during the offseason to stay sharp and earn additional income. But Caitlin made the choice to skip overseas play and prioritize rest. For her, the decision was simple. She needed a break. The WNBA season is incredibly grueling, especially for players who carry as much responsibility as Caitlin does. Playing overseas might be tempting, but it also means continuing the same high-intensity schedule with very little recovery time. The physical and mental toll of the season made it clear to Caitlin that stepping away was the smarter option.
Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay.
In addition to skipping overseas basketball, Caitlin also chose not to participate in 3x3 basketball, a format that continues to grow in popularity. While 3x3 is fast-paced and exciting, it demands sharpness on both ends of the floor. Even though it could have been a fun way to stay active, Caitlin knew her body needed more than just a change of pace. It needed real rest. She needed time to fully recover and reset. For someone so young, this decision shows maturity. Many players feel pressure to keep playing, whether to stay in shape or maintain their standing in the league. But Caitlin understands that taking care of her body now will pay off in the long run. By resting, she's allowing herself to heal physically and mentally, setting herself up to return stronger and more prepared when the next WNBA season begins.
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball.
Throughout the season, one of the most consistent frustrations for Caitlin Clark was the lack of respect she received from the referees. Whether she was driving hard to the basket and absorbing clear contact or getting bumped on the perimeter, Caitlin often found herself on the wrong end of no calls. This became increasingly frustrating because, as one of the league's top players, Caitlin reasonably expected to be officiated with the same level of respect given to her peers. Instead, time after time, the whistles stayed silent.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So, but I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that. So I want to thank him for that.
That issue surfaced once again in her final game against the Connecticut Sun. Caitlin attacked the basket repeatedly, only to be met with heavy contact and no response from the officials. It was a familiar pattern that followed her all season, and it didn't go unnoticed by fans, coaches, or analysts. What made it even more confusing was Caitlin's status as one of the league's rising stars. In both the NBA and WNBA, star players are often given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to officiating. Players like LeBron James or Aya Wilson are accustomed to getting calls when they attack aggressively. Yet for Caitlin, the whistles remained silent even when the contact was obvious. This inconsistency raised serious questions about officiating standards in the WNBA. Adding to the frustration, Caitlin also faced a difficult off-court situation during that final game. A fan in the stands repeatedly heckled her, throwing insults and trying to get under her skin. For most of the game, Caitlin stayed locked in, ignoring the noise and focusing on basketball. But as the taunts continued, she finally reached her limit. In a moment reminiscent of LeBron James, Caitlin pointed the fan out to arena staff, who quickly removed the individual from the building. It was a rare glimpse of visible frustration from a player known for her composure under pressure, and it served as a reminder that even the best athletes have their breaking point. With Caitlin Clark now out of the playoffs, the WNBA postseason landscape has changed dramatically. One player who may quietly feel a sense of relief is Angel Reese. The two have been closely linked all season through competition and rivalry. While Angel has never publicly celebrated Caitlin's exit, it's clear that her absence removes one of the biggest obstacles on the path to a championship. Without Caitlin, the Indiana Fever are no longer a threat, and the dynamics of the postseason shift. The spotlight now turns to other stars, with Aya Wilson emerging as the final major name left standing in the playoff race. Caitlin's exit doesn't just affect one team, it impacts the entire league.
We're watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. and understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
Fans tuned in all season specifically to watch Caitlin Clark. Her highlight reel performances became must-see television, drawing attention far beyond the usual WNBA audience. Now, with Caitlin sidelined, the league faces a real challenge: how to maintain viewership and momentum without one of its biggest attractions. The WNBA has worked hard in recent years to grow its fan base through better marketing, broader broadcasting, and increased accessibility. But players like Caitlin are vital to sustaining that growth. Without her on the court, the league loses one of its most marketable and exciting stars, and that could lead to a noticeable drop in ratings and attendance.
And like, if they think it's personal, but when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive, I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive and that's what we do. But off the court, we're going to kick it and have fun. So I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something, but I love Caitlin, I love her game, and I admire everything she's done.
Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA goes far beyond her on-court production. She has become a cultural force, a player who brought new fans to the league and injected a level of excitement that hadn't been seen in years. Now that she's out of the playoffs, there's a sense of loss not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the league as a whole. Caitlin brought energy, buzz, and star power that resonated with audiences everywhere. Her absence will be felt. But if there's one thing we know about Caitlin Clark, it's that she will return stronger than ever. She has already proven she has the talent, drive, and work ethic to be among the best players in the world. This break will only give her time to recharge and refocus. When she returns next season, the WNBA will once again feel the electricity she brings, and fans will be waiting. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. More videos are on the screen right now.